What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith, and I thank you for taking the time on this beautiful hump day. And I hope you're all having a good one. It is almost 9 o'clock. It's halftime right now. The Sixers game down 4 to those pesky Celtics. So let's go out and get that W there. But appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about those New York Jets. We're going behind enemy lines tonight, as we do every week, getting to know the Eagles' opponent for Week 13. But of course, as always, we will start off with some of the injury news. So let's get right into it. If you guys have any questions, any kind of comments, please feel free to throw them my way. But we're going to get right into it here. Jalen Hurts. Everybody knows he has a little bit of an ankle injury, some soreness there, it sounds like, but he was limited today. So not out for practice. That is good news. Just taking it easy, but I think he will be good to go. I saw that the head coach for the I almost keep saying the Celtics because of the damn colors, but the Jets, he said that he doesn't believe anything. He's like, yeah, okay, sure. So expect to see Jalen Hurts out there. I know we talked about Gardner Minshew yesterday. I know you don't want to risk it with Hurts, but I know you want to keep getting as much development as you can and give him as much of an opportunity to show that he can be the quarterback of the future. Only 5 games left. So I hope to see him this Sunday before we go into the bye week. Now, if it's worse than expected, then he probably won't play, but limited today. Then also limited Miles Sanders. So that's great news with that ankle injury. Obviously we need to continue pounding that rock. That's how we were successful. So hope that he will be ready to go against the New York Jets. Now, the rest of the limited list is quite extensive as usual, but some guys getting some rest, and Lane Johnson. Now, Jason Kelsey usually gets rest, but he's dealing with that knee issue. So let's hope that he is good to go, but sounds like he will be. So hopeful there. He was limited today. We see Miles Sanders there. Josh Sweat also dealing with that knee issue. Let's hope he's all right. Teron Jackson with a neck injury. TJ Edwards with an ankle, and then Derek Barnett, as we talked about yesterday, with those ribs. So let's hope that they are all good to go. Now, a few people did not practice. A little concerning here with the running backs. Boston Scott showing up with an illness. That is very worrisome there because also Jordan Howard did not practice. He's still dealing with that knee issue. They said he should be good to go, but he did not practice today. So cause for concern when all of our running backs, except for Kenny Gainwell, are on the injury report. Then also with an illness, Devontae Smith. Now today was a walkthrough, but still concerning that he would not practice. So let's hope it's not COVID. Hopefully these guys are vaccinated, good to go. We will keep our eye on that. But then Fletcher Cox did not practice as well, but he usually doesn't on Wednesdays, getting that rest for his back injury that he did actually walk out part of the game for during the game. So he's been dealing with that. So a few guys did not practice. Now, we did add Luke Uriga back to the practice squad. Something, we talked about, it actually came out last night, but it was official today. So he's added on. And that move was made because Jack Driscoll was placed on the IR. And then we brought up Brett Toth from the practice squad. So a roster spot was opened and a practice squad spot was opened. Brett Toth to the active roster, Luke Uriga now on the practice squad. We also protected some practice squad players this week, as always. So you got Clark, Hightower, and then Maiden. And then a little surprise there, Jacoby Stevens. Maybe we get to see the linebacker get a little bit of action this week with Davian Taylor on the IR. I don't know that he would see too much linebacker action, but maybe some special teams work as Jared Maiden did. So we've got a comment here from Christian. Let's go Jalen's leader of our franchise. There's no way he won't be out there leading there. But yeah, man, I feel the same way, Christian. I think he's going to be good to go. That dude is a fighter. You heard from Nick Sirianni talking about one of the toughest dudes. Talked about Jason Kelsey being the toughest dude he's ever met. I mean, we've got some guys that are out here, and they don't care if they're banged up. They want to go out here and win. Doesn't matter what the media is saying, what the fans are saying, what people are saying. These dudes want to go out and win every damn Sunday. So I think that we will see Jalen Hurts this Sunday. And I think it'll be good for him to go out against a team like the Jets and whoop some ass, because we need a little bit of a confidence booster. And we talk about building on things and developing each week. And we know that there's going to be some bumpy roads. There will be some failures. We know that there are things that Jalen Hurts has to keep working on, and that's okay. We went into the season knowing that. So each week he needs to do that. And you can only do that by being out there. So let's hope he is ready to go. Now we're going to get into this, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go behind enemy lines with the New York Jets. Get to know this team a little bit. They'll be wearing all black. Don't know why we can't do that, but add a little black to the mix here for them. But yeah, I'm still pissed that we just refuse to wear cool uniforms. Although I did like a couple of things we did. Regardless, let's keep it moving. We'll get into their injury report first. Zach Wilson dealing with a knee issue right now, but he was a full participant today in practice, so it looks like he will be fine for the game, but we'll keep our eye on that. But full participant today, good for them. Then they had some guys that were limited in John Franklin Myers, Morgan Moses, and Quincy Williams. All starters for them, a defensive end, a tackle, and a linebacker. That is some big news for them. So we will keep our eyes on those injuries and make sure we know what's going on with those guys. Now, on to the did not practice. Corey Davis, he is back from an injury right now, but he doesn't look like he's going to play. So he's been working his way back, but today he did not practice, so not good for them. Folorunso Fatakasi, yeah, sure. He's got a back injury, did not practice. Sheldon Rankins also did not practice, not good for them. And then Trevon Wesco, tight end / fullback, did not practice. So few guys injured for them as well. They're dealing with some injuries, so we'll keep our eye on that. Now, let's get into the actual roster. Let's get into the stand, all that great stuff. Let's get to know the Eagles' Week 13 opponent. Let's go behind enemy lines. Let me know your thoughts on this. Anything you're feeling, let me hear it in the comments how you're feeling about this opponent. What do you think the Eagles can do to them? What matchups are you looking for here? But let's get into it. The head coach, Robert Saleh, defensive-minded guy coming over from the Niners. And look, he's had a rough year. The Jets are just not a very good team, but somebody that's got hope for the future. So we'll see how they do. But right now, I think, another rookie head coach. And, this is something that we talk about, these young guys having to learn on the go. And I think that these guys are going to obviously both be good coaches in my mind. I think that Robert Saleh and Nick Sirianni can both be good coaches. So it should be a good matchup, but an offensive-minded guy versus a defensive-minded guy. That's why he's got Mike LaFleur in there as his offensive coordinator to run that offense. He's got Ulbrich there to help him with the defense, and then Brant Boyer there for special teams. Now, this offense that Mike LaFleur is running, not running too well, although they are passing the ball. And I think Mike White had a huge, huge part in that. But you see right there, 86 rushing yards per game. That's 29th in the league. Not good, but they can pass the ball. They have to because usually they're down. So we always talk about taking numbers with a grain of salt. That's what you want to do with that one there. It's not like they're a great passing team. Total yardage, 21st in the league, and then they're tied for 27th at 18.1 points per game. Not great. So this offense definitely is an offense that we should be able to pounce on as a defense. One of the things we cannot do, get sacks, get turnovers. We struggle in that area. Not doing the best this season, but they are giving up 2.8 sacks per game, 1.7 interceptions thrown per game. I mean, these are bad numbers. Other than, the half a fumble per game lost there, tied for 12th. Ooh, they're 32nd in interceptions and turnovers. So 2.2 turnovers per game. That is not a very good offense. And it will be led by Zach Wilson if everything goes right with him in that knee. If not, good old Joe Flacco's there. I don't know how. I really don't know how he fleeced Joe Douglas into giving us a 6th round pick. It could turn into a 5th, but he would have to play over 50% of the snaps in 4 games. Don't think that's going to happen, but we'll see what happens in this game. If Zach Wilson stays healthy, we should be able to put him on his ass. We shall find out. Mike White, though, will not be available. He is on the COVID list. So missing the, guy that came in for a game, showed a little bit of the great white hope, as they were saying, showed a little hope for him. He will not be there. So, Zach Wilson, I cannot wait to put him on his ass. Now, that run game, very hurting in that department. Michael Carter on the IR. That is not good for them. Tevin Coleman leading the ship there, I guess. But they were giving guys, I think his name was Austin Walker, the practice squad kid. Maybe he gets brought up again. But they've got Tevin Coleman, Ty Johnson, LaMichael Perrine there. And then fullback Nick Bowden's probably going to have to play some because we talked about that other guy that plays fullback and tight end for them. He will be out. So dealing with some injuries there. So their run game, it's going to be hurting. They're going to have to try to throw the ball a lot. We need to be able to get interceptions, big play slay. We'll see what we do. But, we should be able to get this offense one-dimensional here. But they do have some decent wide receivers. Elijah Moore, a really good young rookie that, if you watch him, he's actually pretty damn talented. Jamison Crowder there too, though, kind of playing the same role there, although Moore can play outside as well. But Crowder more of a slot guy and has had to play that. and they will have to do that this week. Corey Davis probably not going to play. Keelan Cole will be out on the COVID list. So Denzel Mims going to get brought back in action. That dude, he either plays like 60% of the snaps or he's not playing at all. And then you got Braxton Berrios, another slot type receiver, and then Jeff Smith. So we'll see how they try to work these guys in if they bring somebody up to the practice squad, what they do for this game. But going to be intriguing for the New York Jets offense here. And then the tight ends. We should be able to shut down Ryan Griffin, dear God, and Kenny Yeboah if he gets used at all, because they don't ever use him. But talk about Trevon Wesco, who's actually somebody they do use as a tight end and fullback and H-back role. He actually is out, so we will not be seeing him. Tyler Croft on the IR, so they're hurting there. Possibly bring somebody up from the practice squad. We will definitely keep our eyes on that. Now, this offensive line, not a great offensive line, although I really like Elijah Ver-Tucker. They brought in Old Man River, Laurent Duvernay Tardif, and then Connor McGovern from the Cowboys, you guys remember. Morgan Moses from Washington, you remember. So it's kind of mix and match in there. George Fan at left tackle. And look, they've got a lot of guys on IR, Mekhi Becton being one of them, Cameron Clark, Chuma Odoga, and Parker Ferguson. So they've got some guys banged up there too. I think this offensive line is an offensive line we should be able to pounce on. But then again, we've said that plenty of times because, look, the Broncos, the Saints, they were all missing their starting offensive linemen, and we did not capitalize there. So I hope with the Jets we can get after them. But let me know your thoughts. How do you feel about this offense? Do you think that they're going to embarrass the Eagles? Are they going to be able to put up points against us, or do you think we could shut them down? I thought the defense did pretty well, only allowing the Giants to put up 13 points when the offense wasn't doing anything. So I think they should be able to slow this offense down, but only time will tell. So let's keep it moving. Let me know your thoughts down below on the offense, but let's get into this defense. Let's look at some of the rankings. They are 27th against the run, 29th against the pass, 31st in total yardage allowed, and 32nd last in the league in points given up. They're giving up over 30 points per game. For the love of God, we need to be able to put up points. We should be running the ball 75% of the time in this game. We should just be pounding the rock down their throats and allowing dink and dunk from Jalen Hurts. If he's playing, you don't want him to get hurt. Don't want him running too much. I know their pass rush can get to you. We'll talk about that in a second here. But I really think that this is a defense we should be able to put up 30 plus, 40 plus points. We really should. Now we look at their 2.3 sacks per game. That's 15th in the league. Tied for 31st with interceptions. Tied for 16th with fumble recovers. So 31st in turnovers per game at 0.8. That is not good. So, hey, we've been doing pretty well holding on to the ball. We got to hope that we continue to do so. Now, they've got, I think Quinnen Williams, one of the most underrated defensive tackles in the game, very young man, and I think he's only getting better. Sheldon Rankins, he's had an up and down career, more down than anything, but I think they perform. They actually give a formidable duo here for the Eagles, and I think with Nate Herbig starting at right guard, it will be interesting to watch there. Although I like Nate Herbig, we'll see how Kelsey holds up, but yeah, going to be intriguing to see there. But they got some depth there. This is the only position for the Jets that they don't have any injuries or someone on IR. So, actually, to be real with you, they actually have injuries. It's just nobody's on the IR. So we'll keep our eye on that. Now for the defensive end, Vinny Curry, we all know, all the prayers and, best wishes to him. But he is on the NFI list. And then they've got Carl Lawson and Bryce Huff on the IR. So Jonathan Franklin Myers, as we saw on the injury report, and then Shaq Lawson as your starters, Kyle Phillips, Tim Ward as your depth. So not the most scary pass rush, but I'll tell you, Jonathan Franklin Myers is one of those guys that slept on in this league, and I think that he could show out this week. So Mailata Johnson, keep playing as well as you are, and I think you won't even hear his name, so that's great. But he is somebody that could break out, so definitely watch out for him. One of the linebackers, CJ Mosley. Those injuries have really killed him in his career, but that dude, when he's healthy, he is phenomenal. Quincy Williams, the brother of Quinnen Williams there. I think, another decent guy, but he is on the injury report. We'll see if he's ready. Gerard Davis didn't play last week. You guys remember him from the Lions, kind of fell off, never really lived up to the hype, but got a lot of athletic talent. Then you got Delshon Phillips, who filled in for him last week. We'll see if he has to fill in at all. And then Hamza Nasruddin, you guys remember, as we talked about before the draft, kid from Florida State, played safety, but big-bodied dude. So one of those hybrid guys. I thought maybe we would take him. Did not. So you see he's there with New York. Maybe we'll see a little bit of him. But they've got Blake Cashman, Jamie and Sherwood on the IR. Now on to the Jets secondary at corner. Bryce Hall. You got Javelin Guidry. Michael Carter, the second, playing the slot there. Jason Pinnock seeing some snaps when he needs to, but they got Hardy Dunn, Wild Goose in there. Sounds like an alcohol. It's ridiculous. But Brandon Eccles on the IR. This is a cornerback group that we should be able to dust, but well, God only knows. We'll see what's going on with Devontae Smith. Pray to God that he's all right, because we know that we are struggling elsewhere. Jalen Reagor with those 2 massive drops. Quez Watkins with a drop the week before halftime. These guys really need to hold on to the ball. We really need to make plays. I know that Jalen Hurts has to keep working on things, but a lot of people attacking Jalen Hurts for things that, well, people wouldn't even be talking about if these guys just catch the effing ball. So I think that, this secondary is the secondary we should be able to take on. Familiar face here, Elijah Riley, starting at safety for 2 games already for them since they took him from us. Right off that damn practice squad, we are idiots. Let him go, even though we've got 2 old safeties. Whatever. So they've got Ashton Davis and Elijah Riley starting at safety because LaMarcus Joyner, Marcus May on the IR. That's pretty big for them. So they did have Marcus May, who I think is one of the most underrated safeties. Would love to have him on the Eagles, but he ended up with an injury. So on the IR, maybe we see some Sherrod Niesman. I think he saw 1 snap last week, and then they got Gerard Wilson there. But a secondary that this Eagles team should be able to pounce on, for the love of God. We need to be able to put up 35-plus points, and I'm just rolling with that for the rest of the week. We have to be able to run all over these guys, and some big passing plays would be nice to see too, man. It'd be nice to really see this offensive playbook opened up here. Nick Sirianni, man, we need to see it. But like I said, Robert Saleh, a really smart guy. So 2 young coaches, going to be a very intriguing matchup. Now on to the special teams. Never leave those guys out. Matt Amendola at kicker. Yeah, don't care about him. Braden Mann, Thomas Hennessy, got another alcohol in the house. I think that, this is a below average special teams unit. Not real worried about this team, but those are the kind of teams you usually have to worry about because, well, the Eagles just aren't that great right now and are going through some growing pains. That's why you continue to run the damn ball. Now you see here another team with just 1 return specialist. Why can't we have 1 return specialist? One guy that just returns the ball. Maybe Kenny Gainwell. I know he got a return last week, so I don't know. Each week, if you've realized, for the first couple of weeks, we had teams that had a kick returner and a punt returner, and ever since then, it's been 1 guy for like the last 6 weeks. And I've noticed it just because I have to make these graphics, but it's like, son of a bitch. But sometimes Tevin Coleman used back there a kick returner, but obviously he is the starting running back, so probably not going to see that. And then Keelan Cole gets some return time sometimes, but he is on the COVID list, so you're not going to see him. Now, that was it, ladies and gentlemen. That was Behind Enemy Lines with the New York Jets. Let me know your thoughts down below. How are you feeling about this matchup? Do you think the Eagles can turn things around, get things rolling? And I think for me, one of the things is we've talked about this year being, it's going to be we're going to have a lot of growing pains, but it's a learning year for a lot of these guys, developmental year. And we're retooling. That's something that I think we had to keep in mind. And sure, when we're winning, it's exciting, but that's why we said while we're winning, enjoy this while you can, because there's going to be bumpy roads ahead. There's going to be times that we struggle. And that's unfortunate, man, that a lot of people don't see that, because then when they do struggle, it's you got to fire this guy, trade this guy, cut this guy. And it's like, dude, we still got a long ways to go. But I think what keeps me excited is what we talk about every single day. And that is the draft picks, the 10 that we have, and then the massive amount of cap. The cap's going up. We're going to have money rolling over. I mean, dude, future looks bright, and I'm just going to stick with that, man. And I know that losing to the Giants sucks, and I was pissed off when it happened, but it's like, we got to give these guys the time they need to develop, and I'm sticking with it. And the Jets team, I think, is the perfect team to go out and beat the living hell out of them. You got another young coach, though, that you don't sleep on. You got to realize he's been watching you, man, and he's young too. So I think this is going to be a fun game, but we need to go into New York. We just obviously were there and lost. We need to be pissed off, and we need to go beat some ass. So appreciate you taking the time, and I'm going to get rolling out. I will be back tomorrow with any injury news, anything else that's going on there. Then this weekend, we will get into the roster comparison, the matchup advantages, the top 10 matchups, all that great stuff will be this weekend. So make sure you tune in. But if you guys have any questions, you're watching this, you want to talk about something, you can comment down below. You can always reach out to me on any of these platforms. As I always say, always down to talk some birds. You want to talk about any other sport, 4 for 4. We could be 5 for 5 if you want. I don't know anything about soccer, but I'll be real with you. Always down for Philly sports. And if it's anything else, man, always here for you guys as you are for me. So I appreciate you. My man, Drew, what is going on, dude? Just got done doing Behind Enemy Lines with the New York Jets. So do me a favor, check that out. Let me know what you think. I will check out your comments if you leave any, and I will definitely get back to you. But just went through, took a look at what we'll be dealing with, the Eagles, that is, this week 13 with the New York Jets. So let's whoop some ass, Eagles. But I'm going to get rolling out. As I said, if you need me, please feel free to reach out on any of these platforms. Appreciate you hitting that like button, retweeting, subscribing to the YouTube channel, all those things that you guys do. Truly appreciate the hell out of you. Drew, have yourself a great night. Christian, you too. I appreciate everybody that tuned in. If you're watching this later, you can always comment down below. Always get back to you guys. My man, Drew, dude, I'll check you later. Hope to see you tomorrow. You know it. Fly, Eagles, fly. But look forward to talking to you later, hopefully about some birds, my man. Have a great night to everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And as always, go Birds!